What's up, everyone? Jeff Lowe, KenJac, Robbie Fox here to talk Star Wars The Mandalorian. It's finally here. Disney Plus has launched the first live-action Star Wars TV series, I think, ever?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ever, right?
I remember this was
droids,
rumored.
There's animated.
This was rumored before the sale to Disney even. I remember they were talking about like maybe a Boba Fett show on HBO or this is a long time coming.
Yep. So this is pretty awesome. But a big question is, what the hell's going on? What's happening with this? Let's get right into our first initial reaction, though. What did you think of the first episode of The Mandalorian? It's about, 39 minutes long? I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be an hour. I didn't know that.
So did I, I didn't know it either. I felt gypped. I felt gypped out of 20 minutes.
49 minutes is what I was baseline expecting, for sure.
Yeah. But did you like it?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. In different ways than I thought. For whatever reason, I thought I knew what this show was going to be, and this episode kind of threw me for a bit of a loop. I was not expecting a lot of the things we got, but I loved everything we did. I thought it was super cool and westerny. I thought there were even some scenes that we can get to later that reminded me of samurai movies that were just awesome. I loved everything about it.
You and I, we did something that you always love to do before you record something, is you talk about the stuff that you
constantly.
I know.
You and I already mentioned that Dave Filoni did direct this. Dave Filoni did Clone Wars, did Rebels. Super Dave Filoni touch on this.
Yes,
if you've seen any of that other Star Wars content, this will feel very similar to that.
Yep.
And it's definitely a more mature property than his other stuff. However, you can just feel his touch on it.
For sure.
It's like a charm. It's like the childlike charm of Filoni. Him throwing in all of the Easter eggs he did in this, which we'll get to, that made me be like, oh my God, put Star Wars in this guy's hands forever.
We got a long list.
And he's one of those guys, you can tell he really cares about what he does. Yes. So it's not like it's just another project for him. He really loves Star Wars.
Yes.
And that touch really shows up.
And Jon Favreau, we can't go without mentioning this guy. Yeah. He can't do anything bad if he tried.
Jon Favreau knows what he's doing.
That guy just knows what he's doing.
He does. I think it was good, not great. I think that there's a lot of room for improvement. You could see some growing pains from going from cartoon or animated to live action.
Yep.
I think that we knew the scale of this, we knew how much money they pumped into it, and it wasn't going to be absolutely insane special effects. I still think they looked really good. Practical effects look great. I didn't love the soundtrack. Is that weird to say?
It didn't feel as Star Warsy.
Yeah, I have a comment on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get.
You're gonna save on it? Sure, let's hold on.
I'm gonna get to it in a second. But I would agree. I think good, not great, but that doesn't matter. I'm not looking.
You're gonna. I'm gonna say great.
I was looking to be kind of immersed in this, and I want to get the feel for it. But I think the second half of the episode was great.
Definitely, definitely, it picks up
once you kind of understood what's going on here, the feel and the vibe. You introduced Nick Nolte's character, the Ugnaught, who we haven't seen a character like that since Empire Strikes Back. Once we kind of get into the groove, that's where it picked up for me. That gunfight with IG-88.
Incredible.
Not IG-88, it's
IG-11.
IG-11. Taika Waititi, who rest in peace. Not with us.
Not Taika.
Oh, he'll be back.
In fact,
he'll definitely be back.
I guess you could have the same voice. It's a droid.
I think that droid will be back. Okay. I think there was some kind of connection that they made at the end where he kind of liked IG-11. And I remember Taika Waititi saying many people in the show confuse my character for IG-88.
That's a good point.
And I remember him saying that nobody did that in this episode, which makes me think he'll be back.
So he could be back, or it could be this same voice, different robot.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe all of those IG droids just have Taika's voice.
So I think consensus, though, we really enjoyed it. I'm very pleased with what we got. And here's the other thing, too, is that we do have another episode on Friday the 15th.
Which is amazing.
Right?
Yep.
I wrote it down. Friday
Staggered
the 15th.
release.
Yeah, and then it'll be every Friday after that, up until the week The Rise of Skywalker comes out. And that week it comes out on a Tuesday,
Goes staggered again, yeah.
Yeah. So very pumped about the first episode. Just getting new Star Wars content is always special, but it has a very old, gritty feel to it, and it feels like old Star Wars, and that's really going to bring people back, I think. But with kind of a different flavor, a flavor that you get if you watch the animated series, which I personally enjoy.
Love
I like
Clone
the
Wars.
animated series a lot. I love Clone Wars. I loved Rebels. So you have that feel. Filoni, though we're going to have different directors anyway.
Yep.
TD's doing some stuff as well, so it's going to be a different vibe, different feel to episodes.
Taika's got the finale.
Oh, yeah.
But the overall thing here that Jon Favreau brought, I think we're very pleased with what we got at the start. We'll get into the story in a second, but I want to talk about some Easter eggs. I'll run down. Let's see if Well, let's see if we caught all of them. There could be one that maybe you caught that I don't have on here. Right off the bat, he's picking speeders, the Mandalorian, with speeder to transport him to his ship. And it's a Garindin was the character in A New Hope. It's the guy with like the little he's got the dick nose.
Yes.
He's got that little like
he's the spy.
The mousy spy. He spies on Luke, and he says they went that way.
Mos
It's
Eisley,
Kubaz.
His nose looks like an uncircumcised
giant dick.
Yeah. So we see that. Then there's a character called Mithril is the first character Mando captures. He captures.
Awesome scene where he captures him.
Yeah, and it's played by Horatio Sands,
which is
Saturday Night
hilarious.
Live.
Weird.
Very.
I didn't know who this guy was, but now that I sort of do, weird.
A lot of comedians in this.
We're watching it during the holiday season already. I can see that one SNL skit where he's doing like the Christmas song with Jimmy Fallon, Tracy Morgan, and Chris Kattan. I can just see it in my head. I had no idea it was him till the end, though. That's amazing. Also, Brian Posehn is in it. His character died. He was the one driving the speeder.
Big time.
I'm going to have to watch back for that.
Eaten by a lake, some sort of lake worm thing.
I missed it.
Fish.
And then Bill Burr's also in this. A lot of comedians in this show.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Favreau probably just wanted to have fun on set.
Yeah, exactly.
The funniest thing, though, from this episode was Mithril, that character played by Horatio Sands, mentions Life Day.
I lost
special.
my mind.
Which is Life Day.
That's
If you
so
don't
good.
know what the Star Wars Holiday Special is, it's the most hated thing in the world by George Lucas. He wanted everything burned from it. It came out between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back.
Right after A New Hope.
Yeah,
Sucked.
it's awful. It's on
so
YouTube.
bad.
It's the worst thing you'll ever see. But
It's so
actually,
funny,
I don't even know if I would say to. It's hard to get through the whole thing. It's like 30-ish minutes. It's
longer than that. It's like an hour.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's
That
like
goes
it's like an hour, hour and a half.
Fast forward.
I make it my Christmas Eve tradition every year. I watch the Star Wars Holiday Special.
It is so bad, but the premise of that show is that Chewbacca needs to get home for Life Day, which is basically like
Christmas.
Yeah. And so this character mentions Life Day, which is incredible. And I imagine George Lucas watching this.
It's canon.
I'm like, are you fucking
Life Day's canon for the first
big
time
time
ever.
canon? Which makes the Star Wars Holiday Special, we'll see, close to canon.
Be very close.
Star Wars Holiday Special not on Disney Plus.
It should be though. It should be. That was 4K. In 4K.
Yes, absolutely remastered.
That was Bob Iger's one gift to George. He's like,
we'll do this for you.
We won't put the holiday.
George apparently involved in this episode, by the way. Apparently
didn't know
did some
that.
consulting on this episode with Favreau or something. I don't know where
It
that
has
comes
a
in, but
super original Star Wars touch to it.
it feels like the
original.
original trilogy.
Okay,
more
well,
than anything I've seen.
We'll get to the story and how that's relevant to the story too, and like when it takes place in the timeline. Werner Herzog, his character references Comptanos, which is how he's going to be giving the bounty. That is what the ice cream maker is. That is being. It's a super fun.
This is very
I
deep
didn't
cut.
realize that.
Very deep cut reference.
Though,
There's an ice cream maker guy running with an ice cream maker. His character's name is Will Rohood because everything in Star Wars has a name. It's very popular among Star Wars fans, and that's like I guess canon what it's called.
He's literally just a citizen of Cloud
Yeah,
City
he's holding
evacuating
running
Empire
around
Strikes
like a
Back.
giant ice cream
He
maker.
runs past the camera in the
clip
background.
is playing now, so you'll see it. This is what this is basically. This is what that is. They reference it in here, and again, that's a little fan service. A lot of fan service in here. You have blurgs, which are the things that Mandalorian tries to ride. The little kind of weird like
That's the scene
bulbous
that
creatures.
I thought came off very samurai-esque when he learns how to ride it, and they have those shots where the lens flares coming in, and they're the wide-angle shots. That was really cool.
Very
to me.
Kurosawa-ish.
That was also my favorite part of the whole score soundtrack, by the way.
Yeah, that was definitely the best
scene
part,
is very
for sure.
good.
They were featured in Clone Wars and also in like the Ewoks, the TV movie or whatever it was.
Get out.
Yeah, so they're back
Also not
in
on Disney
live action.
Plus. I want the Ewoks
Throw
movies
those on.
and cartoons.
And droids.
We need those teddy bears.
I want the droids cartoon. Bosk, we might have seen Bosk. We're not
Might have
sure.
been the same species. Can't tell yet.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of bounty hunters we don't know. There's a Gonk droid in there.
Love the Gonk droid.
Very funny. We mentioned the Ugnaught voiced by Nick Nolte, which we knew. There had been rumors that that's what it was. I think it kind of got confirmed. It fits well. It looks like it kind of looks like him a little bit too. Like I think they modeled the character a bit to look like Nick Nolte, but it fits perfect. I was actually curious if it would not work.
The mouth not lining up with the text was very Star Warsy.
It's so Star Wars.
It's so
I was
Star
going
Wars,
to say
I
the
didn't
same
care.
thing. I was
Yeah.
almost like, man, that's like cool. It feels
I
practical.
liked it,
It feels
'cause-
old. I feel like I'm in this
Exactly.
universe.
Yeah.
They roast a relative of Salacious Crumb at one point. Just
Hysterical.
a cool
Roast him
monkey
alive.
lizard.
Hysterical.
So funny. Just crying in the crate. Now
I think my reaction to that, I was sitting on my couch. It was 7 a.m. and I was like,
Yeah, there's Salacious Crumb. He's back.
Is that the
Getting
first time
roasted.
we've seen Salacious Crumb, or a version of
Since
Salacious
last
Crumb
Jedi.
in
Or
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, since Return of the Jedi, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Maybe there's his species in the Clone Wars for a second,
Like a
but I
split
think
second,
that was the only time we see him like a puppet.
This is a word that I'm bad at pronouncing because I'll just lisp it out as the mythosaur. We see that. We see the icon. You have to see it on Boba Fett, the Mandalorians. Robbie's got it on right here. Very prominent in this episode. They actually reference the species as well.
Also, maybe a holiday special reference. You know,
Sort of
like
even does ride
Boba
it during
riding
it,
the dinosaur.
with the fucking thing, the gun
They
that he
will
uses.
get to
Yep.
that. They will for sure get to these at some point in the series. No doubt, I feel like.
Yeah, him learning how to ride it
Because
and them
the
talking
Ugnaught-
about his ancestors riding them. Yeah,
Yeah, Nick Nolte's character references it, so I'm sure
You're
they'll get to
forgetting
that.
one. You're forgetting one, and it was maybe my biggest mark out moment of the entire episode. There is a moment where the Mandalorian like needs to get into a place, and the fucking circle
eye comes
droid
out.
from
Yeah.
Jabba's
Yeah, the eye
palace
droid
comes out,
out.
and I
And-
lost my mind. Like just a random, like, oh my god, the eye droid.
And it comes out and it speaks Hut. Like,
So
to
cool,
her, like
yes.
whatever Huttese to him. And
Yes.
it's like, yes, the fucking
I
eye
also
droid's back,
thought
too.
when that thing popped out, I was like, if this were real, and you know, we're living in the Star Wars universe where these things are basically bouncers.
Yeah.
I would imagine so many people would destroy those things. They poke
Oh,
their
yeah.
thing out,
Oh,
and just boom, boom,
I mean,
boom, boom, boom,
it's
boom,
a
boom.
long, like...
It's like an arm.
Just crushing it.
Yeah.
And the biggest Easter egg of them all was the Yoda-looking character, which I'm still trying to confirm. A Minch is what I believe they call that species.
Minch?
But that's not... Yoda's not designated as a species.
Yeah, it's just Yoda's
I've been trying...
species.
I actually texted someone who would know. I didn't get an answer back. That's like... I don't want to be wrong on this, but I know, like, Minch is what they call that species.
Tentatively,
However,
so-
Yoda, again, is not designated as a specific species from what I know.
Yoda doesn't identify as a species at this time.
Yeah.
Don't assume his species.
Do not assume.
So that's kind of the big reveal at the end. We speculated what would be the big thing that people talked about. What's the spoiler as to why they didn't screen this for the media?
Here it is.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
They say that the Yoda species, we're going to call it the Yoda species for now until we can confirm, is about 50 years old. So that would place him on the timeline, I believe, like Clone Wars or before.
Yeah, cross paths with Yoda. He's alive at the same time as Yoda. At
Definitely,
least.
yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
so
Because this appears to be directly after
After
Return of the
Yoda
Jedi,
kid,
right?
Yoda relative. He's a very important character, and that's how we're going to kind of dump here into the story now. Let's
Yes.
talk about the story of the first episode of The Mandalorian. The big thing is it's very secretive off the bat.
Yep.
Two things are secretive off the bat. One, who the Mandalorian is. We'll get to him in a second. But the first thing is the bounty. He's going after this species, this baby, and that's what Werner Herzog's character wants him to find. He wants to bring it back alive. He still works for the Empire,
Yeah,
which his
the Empire
his
is
character's
cool
just being
too.
called the client,
because it's
way.
like
Yeah.
it is like a shattered empire. Like when he opens
remnants
the
of that's
door
still
to
there,
go
yeah.
into Werner Herzog's room for the first time, and I saw those stormtroopers, I was like, oh shit!
And they're all,
it
like,
felt
beaten
almost
down and
gross.
everything, yeah.
Going
Like,
back to like Watchmen,
dirty.
it almost felt like 7th Cavalry esque, where I'm like, ooh, this is like grimy.
Yeah, exactly.
They're very secretive about this baby. Why?
I know.
Again, it's post. I should have table set in the beginning. This is right after Return of the Jedi, if you didn't know this. So it's very grim. There's not as much peace as one would think because there's still fallout. When they blew up the Death Star, they didn't blow up every Imperial officer and ship out
Yeah.
there. There's a lot out there, a lot of unrest.
And obviously,
also-
they've carried through
Yeah.
and become the First Order, as we know now,
Eventually,
years
yeah.
They
later.
eventually do, yeah. But no, even at this point, you just lose all of your bureaucracy, all of like your order, and all of your government. Like obviously, everything falls into chaos.
Yep.
So this is. I mean, what do you think? Give me a theory. What do you think this baby is? Why is it so important? Do they know? Because everyone knows who Yoda is. I feel like who's high up because
course.
the client
Yeah.
is a very former high up Imperial officer. It would appear.
Definitely.
So he has to know.
And you
Yoda.
know that you didn't kill Yoda in Order 66. You have to know that Yoda got away because on your checklist of Jedi, he's the top.
He's-
Yeah, number one,
the guy.
pretty
Yeah.
much 1A.
So I guess, yeah, it probably could be a relative of Yoda. The timeline adds up. It makes sense as to why the bounty is so secretive and why the bounty is so, they said we couldn't even give you a bounty puck, which we were talking before. I love the little bounty pucks.
Love
that
that.
they're giving
Very
out.
cool.
Cool stuff. And they give him like the last 4 digits of some kind of coding number. The scene where they actually get in with him and IG-11. Awesome. That was the best scene in the episode.
It was. So
Probably.
to say that
the shootout, yeah.
That's
The
where it
shootout.
really turned for me, especially because it had that bounty Western feel that we've been teased.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
two guys versus an entire old Western looking town and everything. It was so
when
cool.
they rolled up with the turret,
Yep.
it felt like the big, like almost
big
when they
Gatling
roll
gun
up
or
with
something,
the,
and
yes,
like Magnificent Seven or some
totally.
shit. And like he does the whole equilibrium thing, like Christian Bale, like like shooting all over the place. It looks
Yeah,
so cool.
seeing an IG droid move
It's so
the first
awesome,
time was
yeah.
very cool
Very
as
cool.
well. Like we saw clips of it in the trailer and stuff.
seen
But the
it
way,
in,
in like
never-
in Clone Wars.
the way he was
I mean, I
walking
remember
around,
it from just in the Shadows of the Empire video game.
Yeah.
That's where I know
He looked so
IG the
real.
most.
It was very cool.
And Taika Waititi, of course, amazing. Hilarious
Amazing.
lines.
Very
Like,
funny
you're playing a
voice.
little fucking robot, still absolutely
the
hilarious.
self-destruct thermal
yeah.
detonator opening and closing 1,000
My
times throughout the
self-destruct
shootout is
now.
great.
It actually reminded me a little bit of. I'm gonna put my armrest up here. It actually reminded me a little bit of the scene in Rogue One where they're having that shootout.
Agreed, yep.
However, and this scene has gotten a lot of criticism from the likes of I think like Red Letter Media did a breakdown of it. I want to say another Star Wars pod did. How that scene was a cool scene, but it lacked a lot of personality. This scene had a lot of personality.
personality, for
There's
sure.
a lot of fun dialogue.
It was mostly
back and
focused
forth.
on the back and forth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they talk more, they converse more, and it livens it up a bit. Where that one was a cool scene, but it all felt a little like flat. Where this one, again, if this is the type of fight, the type of shootout, the type of action we get, that's fantastic.
Definitely.
That's exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. I think that there's a possibility that maybe, because we know that Palpatine's kind of into cloning and shit, like we know that from canon.
Yep.
I think there's a possibility maybe because Yoda's species is so force sensitive, maybe try to get Yoda cloned
we know
before
Palpatine's
Order
still
66,
alive
any of
now.
that too. I think there's a possibility that maybe they
Interesting.
cloned him before or like took his DNA,
and
whatever.
Filoni is obviously the one that will get crazy with it like
Exactly.
that. Yes.
So I think maybe there's a possibility they try to get Yoda's DNA and clone him before the Empire fell. Empire falls. They still have this clone left over.
However, I hope
Imagine
it's
like
not.
they're trying to raise it to be an evil Yoda.
To be an
I
evil
hope
Yoda.
it's just misdirection because I do
I
want
wouldn't
this
mind
to
that.
be. I do want this to be separate.
I would be okay with that. I will say this: it reminded me a lot of the Clone Wars movie.
Oh, yeah.
The whole point is getting Jabba's kid, right? It's some kind
it
of
was literally
family
Jabba.
member.
I think it was.
Or is it?
At that time, it was
yes.
like Jabba's dad.
Yes,
that they
it's
were-
like baby Jabba. They're
Yeah.
like protecting baby Jabba, and immediately it's
Yeah.
like, oh, protecting baby Yoda.
Protect
Like,
baby
that's
Yoda.
what it is. Maybe you're right and you're wrong of that horrible movie.
And so maybe I think the scientist that he introduces, Werner Herzog's character, the scientist that he introduces is maybe the guy that was the head of that project
First time
or
I
whatever.
wore sunglasses in
Yeah,
Star Wars, by
guy
the way.
was- oof.
Oh wow, you're
Yeah,
right.
it's like-
I didn't even
yeah.
think about that.
I don't know,
First
but
time
yes,
anyone wore
you are right.
glasses,
The
maybe.
scientist thing, yes.
Yeah, so I think the scientist is going to have obviously a big part to play, and I think
guy
he
was a
knows
nerd.
everything
Fuck
that
that
happened.
guy.
He knows everything that happened with the baby Yoda
He
for sure.
came in.
Don't wear your sunglasses. in
Almost got
Star
everyone
Wars.
shot.
You don't
He
need
did almost get
sunglasses
everyone
with
shot.
Star
We have
Wars.
you 4-1.
I also
like those
love
odds.
the direction they seem to be going with him keeping the helmet on. As much as he is, feels so Man with No Name trilogy to me.
Yes, so he goes into a Mandalorian kind of like hideout or like meeting area or
Yeah, it's
something,
cool.
and he's talking to a fellow Mandalorian, and they say, "Has your signet been revealed?" And he says, "No, not yet." And they said, "Soon." So there's a lot of mystery there. So those are the two big mysterious points: is who is this person? Because there's clearly something that we're going to find out.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be this nameless, faceless guy, or like the backstory is going to have some importance because we also see a flashback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know he's not like Boba Fett or anything.
No.
Correct.
Because we see the flashback of him kind of being taken from his parents or
Yeah,
he
we
was
see
war times with his
Mandalore,
parents.
presumably.
He has this
Yeah.
thing. He gets a piece of Beskar steel. It's like kind of the upfront for this bounty that he's going to get. He's
Yeah.
going to get more of it. And as they're melting it, I guess.
Cool scene.
Smelting in
you
the armor,
begin-
yeah.
You begin to see these flashbacks of when the Mandalorian is a kid, kind of negative flashbacks, just bad
Yeah.
memories. So that'll come into play.
And
a
they
bit.
make him
like a shoulder plate,
shoulder
a
guard
gauntlet.
out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the bounty.
so
It's
sick.
cool, yeah.
So it's not like they. Which is that what stopped the bullet? Was he wearing that? What stopped
No,
the
in the
blast?
first,
I
in the
think
opening
he
part, he
actually
wasn't
gets
wearing
shot.
that. Yeah, in the opening part, he wasn't
No,
wearing
the
it. He got
blast from
shot.
when IG.
Oh, so
Yeah.
when IG-8, when IG-8,
Okay.
Oh, that does
IG-11
stop
shoots
it?
him, that stops
That
it.
might
yeah.
okay. So we'll figure that out, but I'm not even sure we'll figure out. It may not be as much who he is as just the backstory. Which
Yeah.
I like the nameless thing. Like
Totally.
it brings a lot of intrigue there. So those are the two mysterious things: is the Yoda species
And what's the
Mando.
foundlings? He says like because he donates whatever's left over to the other Mandalorian, and he says like, yeah, I was a foundling once too, and she's like, yeah, I know. So like, what are the foundlings? Are they like everyone who basically got exiled from Mandalore from that clan or whatever?
Yeah.
Because he says we're happy to have this back within the clan, the actual Beskar steel.
Yeah.
The only other character we really meet is Greg Karga, played by Carl Weathers.
Awesome. by
Oh,
the
yeah,
way.
he was
Star
so
Wars
yeah.
debut. Cool character, very quick. They had some nice dialogue.
Cut
I
the
imagine-
theatrics. I was just like, oh yes, this
Yeah.
is Carl Weathers is back. Oh, this is awesome.
There was
Making a
also
suit, baby.
a super funny, like when he first sits down at the table, it's very like New Hope, like
Yeah.
Han Solo sitting down and all
you
that.
see like the whole bar, all the weird fucking creatures.
Yes,
It's
and
great.
when the Mandalorian sits down right after that whole intro with the what's the blue guy with the Life Day guy, Mithril.
Yeah.
when he sits down, Carl Weathers'
Well, I have to
first thing
think
he
we're done
says,
seeing Mithril.
"Oh, definitely,
He's gone.
Yeah. Carl Weathers is like, "Man, that was quick," and I like to just imagine that he would like gave him the bounty, and he's just been sitting at that table
The whole time.
And he's like, "Oh, that was quick."
Like an NPC in a video game or something,
Yeah.
just chilling.
So I'm sure we'll see him. He's going to be kind of probably mediating, giving him some more bounties and
He
such.
appears to be his boss.
Which I
Yeah.
like. I like
Yeah.
that. He seemed like a slick character, and it's cool to see people like Carl Weathers.
The way he tried to
In the
give
Star Wars
the
universe.
Empire currency as
Yeah.
well. He's like, Empire currency is no longer
I
valid.
love
Empire
that we're going to
credits.
see, 'cause we've always heard like Imperial credits and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Totally.
But we've never heard more than that. They talk about like the calamari or whatever. So
Yeah,
like,
that was cool,
Mon
too.
Calamari,
Calamari,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what Admiral Akbar uses to go to the bodega to get a sandwich or
Yeah.
something.
It's a wrap.
Viewer
Literally.
questions. We'll be doing these in the morning, so if you watch in the morning, send us questions, because otherwise I don't think we're going to get to them, because we're going to try to post these day of. The first one is from at Bust We Must. Is baby Ryota Ray's mom? That's
You have to think so,
maybe
yeah.
my favorite question.
Have to think so at
It's
this
not
point.
unproven in canon.
No, definitely not.
Folks. The answer is not no right
The
now.
jury's
We
still
don't
out
know.
there. Yeah.
At Cam Ramos 95, what did you think of not knowing where we were? This was a complaint. This person told
Yeah.
us a complaint of his. I didn't like that we didn't get subtitles. It's not. I'm not. If I had to grade, which I'm not going to be grading these episodes. That's what I do for movies. For this, I'm just going to try to enjoy it, like in that respect. But I wouldn't take points off for this if I were grading it, but I kind of wish we had subtitles.
Agreed.
Because we were going to be going to so many planets, I
Yeah.
feel like. I kind of want to know where we are. However, maybe that's on purpose, because Rogue One, they do give you subtitles.
They
Which I
give you
loved.
they give you title cards at the bottom. They'll be like whatever
Yeah.
best bin whatever. But they never really did that in Star Wars. It was always
Correct, it was
just
only Rogue One.
Yeah, it was only Rogue One. The
They
rest of
might
them
have
they
done
just
it in
tell
Solo.
you
I
in the
don't
script,
remember
which is
Solo.
totally fun. And they did screen
They
wipes.
don't do
They
it in
did
Solo.
they did all the screen wipes, all the classic Star Wars shit. And I don't think it's a classic Star
The
Wars thing
screen
to give you
wipes
a
were
title
awesome
card.
That's
too.
yes.
Some of the like
It's-
zoom outs on the ship,
Yep.
the circular ones, so great.
Yep.
It's not a huge deal, but I agree. I would have liked to have at least know.
I would've
Maybe
liked, yeah.
we just stay on like 2 or 3 planets and it doesn't matter. We get names. It may not end up
I think
mattering.
we are going to spend most of our time on Tatooine. I think just based on
Bounty
like,
at Scum
budget
and-
reasons
Scum and
as
Villainy.
well. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
At _O'Kane _ I was pretty excited when the idea of going to the bathroom
In space, first time in canon.
I mean,
no?
there's just pee jokes in the beginning.
Yeah, what does he call it too?
he's like evacuate my thorax.
he's
Yeah,
like
something like
I got to
that.
go use the vacuum
Vaxial or something
Yeah.
because you got to shoot it out into space. Makes sense.
Which
but,
also funny.
yeah, very-
We did get a poop and fart joke in Phantom Menace. Jar Jar steps in poop,
Yeah.
and then the pod racing animal thing farts in his face. But this is the first reference to pissing.
I think it's the first
It
time we
is.
saw a space
Nice.
toilet. I think in
Yeah.
Star Wars canon.
I want to see more eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such
Show me Schlitz's crumbs getting a bite taken out of his
Especially
face.
Few
with
scenes of
Galaxy's
eating.
Edge, you would think that they would have like the characters eating some kind of weird meal that
seen
they could put in
Jabba
there
eat.
now.
We've seen Luke eating like weird stick taquitos
Yep.
in Empire Strikes Back. Rey eats. We've seen some food here and there, but
The little
And
fucking
Ray's muffin
souffle.
is sick.
Yeah.
yeah,
Give us
yeah,
more of that.
Yeah, blue milk too, but I need some. Show me some foods. We got to know they eat. Right? Now we
Yeah.
know they piss.
I also, before we move on to the next question, the scene where he's asking to use the bathroom, I love that scene where the creature was like grabbing onto the ship and he had to electrocute
Oh,
it
yeah.
Get it off,
to get
yeah.
it off. I also love like him keeping the helmet on there.
Yep.
I don't know what his emotion is, but it just comes off so cool, calm, and collected that I loved. Like that's the Mandalorian I want.
Just not talking at all.
I
It's
know.
So cool.
Speaking of the creature and the ships and stuff, a big flex of the production budget in the first episode.
Huge
They really
flex.
showed off.
Oh, yeah.
what
Dude,
they-
that thing that bit him, like the saber-toothed
Yep.
crocodile
Yeah.
thing, looked like it could be in
Always a bigger
the Force
fish.
Awakens or something. Yeah.
And then finally, at Demp Dog said, "Do you think they will address Boba Fett and his fate?" Something has come out already that when he enters that Mandalorian thing, if you brighten the image,
Oh, I saw,
a
yeah.
guy looks like Boba. It does. It looks like his exact armor. I'm not going to say it's Boba Fett. I think people say, "Oh, it's Boba Fett."
I don't think it's Boba.
Let's cool our jets. I think they will address Boba
Yeah,
Fett.
that's
they
like
kinda
for sure.
have to.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's not how they're going to do it. I don't think. Like if that's how they do it, I'd rather them just not do
I
it.
honestly, in my mind, like Boba Fett is the season 1 finale cliffhanger. Of
see him, yeah.
Somehow it's found out that Boba
They're
Fett
related,
is either
maybe.
still alive or
Boba's not
there's-
even a Mandalorian either. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yes,
technically speaking,
or
it's
you have a
Kaminoan.
bunch of these bounty hunters all around Tatooine, knowing that like the word has gotten out. We think Boba Fett is dead. We need to find his body and cash it in for some
The Beskar
massive
steel
bounty.
on his actual armor, yeah.
So I think you save him for like season 2, and season 2 is like The Mandalorian versus Boba
Versus
Fett.
Boba, yeah.
You could also see Sabine Wren from Rebels, who is a Mandalorian
I was
as well.
thinking about that too, because I didn't watch all of Rebels. Now that I have Disney Plus, I promise I will be watching all of Rebels. But I was thinking, like, if her character's still alive, it would be cool to start bringing those characters in. Let's do it.
Exactly.
See some
and
Mandalore.
then finally, future episode, any thoughts? We have yet to see Bill Burr. We don't know the character name yet. We've yet to see Gina Carano, who we know is a major character.
Cara Dune.
Cara Dune, yep. And then Giancarlo Esposito is a villain. It's
Moff,
a
baby.
Former Imperial officer, Imperial higher-up, Moff Gideon. We haven't seen
name.
him yet.
He's going to be after Baby Yoda for sure.
Oh, yeah, for
Anything you want to
100%.
see besides Baby Yoda? We're just going to call him Baby Yoda for now. Him
Yeah.
or Baby Yoda. What do you want to see next episode? On Friday, the 15th. So very soon, we'll have another one of these on Friday afternoon.
I think I just want to see some more gunfights. I just want to see some more. I want to see a little more dialogue out of the Mandalorian, like him, like just interacting with other people in the underworld and stuff like that, and then some more gunfights because the gunfights are awesome.
I would say I want to see more of that weird Mandalorian underworld where he gets his armor crafted and all that. I want to know more
clan.
about what is that clan? How do they operate?
Yeah.
Because clearly they're their own thing aside from like the guild or whatever, where also IG and other bounty droids are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to see more of the Mandalorian.
The Guild, we're going to see some, I think, recognizable. I want to see
Yeah.
Dash Rendar. I want to
Yeah,
bring
that would be
bring
cool.
the Shadows of
Dash,
the Empire
That would
game.
be
Make the
cool.
Shadows of the Empire game fucking
Do it.
canon.
Do it.
Anything for you that you think, or just is that kind of the basic? I think
That's space. I want to see some more dialogue, some more of that underworld, baby.
it's
Yeah.
tough. I think we just want to see that. By the way, I forgot to mention the scene where he's trying to learn how to ride the blurgs.
Blurgs, yeah.
Those names. Reminded me of a Rocky training montage.
It sort of did. It had that, like, even when they were riding them through, like, the cracks.
It sounded like it
landscape,
was from Rocky.
It sounded like a Rocky score. Completely.
Which, I don't know if that was-
I thought the exact same
I
thing.
wonder if that was on purpose. Like, it
I
just
thought the
had that
exact
feeling.
same
I mean, we do have Carl Weathers in this, and it all makes
Yeah.
sense.
fact, yeah.
Maybe he said that. He's like, make this a
Imagine that.
Rocky training.
Instead of the
Get some
training
bones, got yourself a
montage to
soup.
find out how to do the blurg, it's like Carl Weathers being like, ever throw a left hook?
As always, thanks for watching. We're going to have another one of these on Friday for the episode 2 of Mandalorian and also episode 5 of The Watchmen we're going to have dropping here as well. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and the bell icon so you know when we drop these. We'll drop them probably early afternoon, mid-afternoon, depending on how long it takes to edit them. Make sure to let us know below your thoughts on the first episode. Any predictions you have for Robbie,
know.
KenJac, Jeff Lowe? What the hell's going on? We'll answer that question next time.